Hello all. Just wanted to put this presentation together. This is the presentation that I delivered at XCH London. I'm not sure that the recordings will maybe ever come through, so I just thought I'd do this for the community and just to give you a rundown about the Monkeyzoo project, me, and where we're heading. So let's dive straight into the presentation that we delivered. So the first thing I started with then is the about me part. I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur. I seem to be able to grasp problems fairly easily, and I find that I can find solutions to problems. So I've put that at the top because that's sort of been the overarching part of my life that I've always sort of had. So yeah, I left school when I was younger, joined the British Army, joined the Royal Signals, where I learnt a trade. I learnt telephony, got to travel the world, see different parts of the world, had an amazing time, and picked up a lot of good life skills. And so yeah, a really important part of my life that is. And what I did then is I then moved on and learnt, like I say, telephony and all about fibre optics. This was sort of back in the 90s, sort of late 90s, where fibre optics were generally quite a new thing. I found it fascinating that you could transport all this information across the continent through lasers or through pieces of light, through pieces of glass, which was fascinating. I then sort of left the army and became a networking and data engineer for a company in the UK. I did that for many years. Worked in lots of places all over the country. Moved up into project management, where I delivered some big projects, all related around networking and data engineering. That did take its toll over the years. It's a lot of the work that you do with telephony, fibre optics, when it comes to businesses, is all out of hours. You can't be messing around with people's communications and their networks while they're all working. So yeah, but I did that for many years, and then decided to hang up the gloves on the project management side of life and take a little step back to be a bit more family orientated. I became an SSI in the MOD, which I still currently do today, which is a school staff instructor basically. So I work in schools and I sort of help teach cadets, army cadets in schools, general army things, along with the teachers themselves, and I'm sort of the link between the school and the school staff to the MOD and the army side of life. My crypto journey then, well, probably began a lot like many people in crypto. I was fascinated by this magic internet money. Not back in the days of Bitcoin. I was too busy there being project management and that sort of thing. But I sort of slowly delved into the world of Ethereum mining, and then soon progressed onto pretty much anything that had hardware involved with it. So helium miners, Planet Watch, and anything that had a piece of hardware I was interested in and would play around. So towards the end of the I guess Ethereum mining, you could see that was coming to an end. So I then looked at alternatives, and where I stumbled across Chia just before mainnet launch, and have never looked back really. All the time though, Monkeyzoo was part of my my journey back here when I was a networking data engineer. I had the idea about Monkeyzoo, and it originally started off as a social network that would essentially allow people to message each other anonymously, a little bit like Twitter. This was actually before the days of Twitter existed. So I created a Monkeyzoo and the Monkeyzoo project and the characters, and then over the years that's developed into something much, well, not much different, but certainly different as in what I wanted to do was use these Monkeyzoo characters in some sort of gaming world, or something along those lines. So what happened then? Why cheer, we ask. So I had the idea about Monkeyzoo to enable people to really own their digital assets. I'd played games all my life, back from the Atari days. But as gaming progressed, and to the point it is today, where you would spend hours and hours, gaining these different skins for your characters, or different skin for your gun, a gold gun, etc., etc. And then the new game would come out, and you'd lose it all, and you'd start again. And what I really thought was needed was the ability to be able to take that new gold gun into the next game, maybe, or and the version of that gun into a different game, whether it's a Fortnite type game, another shooting game, as long as the aesthetics worked. Which I looked at Ethereum and the NFT technology, and it just wasn't good enough, and it just isn't good enough. It's not secure enough. It's a bit Wild West, and to create something essentially that you're involving IP rights to on something that's not necessarily the best platform didn't seem like a good idea to me. So it's always been on the back burner of the technology will maybe right one day. So Cheer came along, and here are some of the reasons why, certainly from a business point of view, that these things make sense. So the CoinSet model blockchain essentially is, like UTXO of Bitcoin. So people can start actually owning their own coins, which essentially can be, to the next point, have that smart contract functionality built into the coin themselves. So what you're looking at there is a security of Bitcoin and the smart contract functionality of Ethereum built together, which is the first time that that's happened ever. So my sort of dream the spark came along, and I thought this could be done. From a business point of view, eco-friendly. Why, there's now ordinals on Bitcoin, for instance. From a business point of view, that seems like a bad idea. Transaction fees are one thing, but when it's actually harmful for the planet as such, then that seems like a bit of a business suicide decision to go somewhere like that. So Bitcoin and ordinals could never really be an option for a serious business. Security, then we talked about the security of the CoinSet model and the Bitcoin UTXO model. It just makes sense. Permanence, then, the way that Chia have given us the ability to add additional URIs to all of our content, which not only gives our customers that security of knowing that the links to their data, their collections, their NFTs are going to be permanent, but also that ability for the customer themselves to actually add an additional URI on top of that makes for permanence probably even more greater than the Bitcoin ordinals that are essentially inscribing on top of the chain itself. There are problems with that, obviously. Inscribing things on top of a blockchain's probably not the best idea for cost-wise, fees, and is that block space really necessary for what we're doing? Probably not. But I think that the Chia permanence solution with the additional URIs is a much better solution. Then we move on to the provenance side of it, the DIDs, which I think is quite underrated. So digital identification of our artwork enables us to prove that the work is genuine. It's not possible to copy our work anymore. So it's it gives us that extra power, and it also gives our consumers, our customers, the power to know that what they're buying is genuine. You know, if it doesn't come with the Monkeyzoo DID, then it's not the real item. Royalties then, from a business point of view, having the royalties baked in at mint for an NFT means that we can start to sort of semi-rely on an income, a secondary sales income that can further push a business forward. So again, that's an amazing piece of technology that doesn't involve any marketplaces. We don't involve any third party. It's all peer-to-peer transacted, and the royalties are guaranteed. So that's an amazing part of this NFT technology. Licensing then, again now with the ability to add that license URI, we have the power to give people a clear instruction of what can and can't be done with our products. And again, it's as simple as a separate URI that's easy to see and it's easy to read. So again, it makes sense. Now, like we said, with the royalties, peer-to-peer trading, P2P trading is gives us that closeness to our customers as well. We can now start to interact with our customers on a one-to-one basis. There's no middleman claiming a fee to interact with us. We don't have to approach a marketplace to have our items listed. So again, it's another really powerful tool in the Chia ecosystem. And again, the Chia founders and the community themselves. So the Chia founders, Bram Cohen and Gene Hoffman and many of the team that are behind the Chia blockchain and the Chia company, are a force to be reckoned with, and I think the people like that, when they start talking about security and the powers of what blockchain technology can do and how it should be done properly, then we should be listening. So we certainly have, and the community themselves, since we've been now looking at Chia, and I've certainly been involved from mainnet launch. The community is amazing. We can reach out to anybody in this community and ask them a question. If we don't know, somebody will know. And also the people that collect NFTs and that join our Twitter Spaces on a Sunday. It's a different feel to what we're used to in Web3. I think there's a lot of charlatans in Web3, which aren't needed anymore. I think what we're creating here, the community around Chia, is second to none. It's an incredibly friendly environment. So then, what is Monkeyzoo? So, like I said earlier, Monkeyzoo started off as a social media project that never really got to see the light of day, but is now transformed into what we see today and what we're planning today and what we have in our white paper. So it's an evolving NFT collection, which means we're going to essentially have gaming characters that you would normally use. You'd normally have different skins or different attachments or different attributes, and we can enable you to be able to upgrade and downgrade these NFTs with this new technology. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun, and like I say, bespoke characters. We can enable you to to upgrade or even downgrade and sell certain attributes within your collection of Monkeyzoo characters. It comes with full commercial licensing, so we wanted to let our users be creative, create whatever maybe suits their needs. So, for instance, a business might want something bespokely made for themselves. They can make that image for themselves and use that for their the commercial advertising. It's an open for people to be creative and start using the Monkeyzoo brand themselves. A community then, which we're building, steadily. The community of not only Cheer but the community behind Monkeyzoo has been fantastic. There's a really friendly atmosphere, and again, people helping each out in the Discord, which we're really proud of. And that community feel is going to just grow and grow slowly as we progress in the journey. So we've got their community design then. So what we want to do then, once we've released sort of most of our characters, we'll then start speaking to the community, and we'll start asking them for their opinions on what new attribute could be, say for instance on here, attached to Super Monkey. What would be a great attribute to add to him? And we're going to allow the community to start designing their own attributes, and if they're good enough, we'll then speak to the designer, maybe mint a run of those attributes to be sold into the community, and to be sold into maybe even games that they can then share that revenue with us. We want to go 50-50. If somebody comes up with a good design, and we mint a collection, a run of 300, and they all sell out, then half of the revenue will go to the designer themselves. Metaverse in gaming then. So a lot of projects put this metaverse in gaming, but the core idea behind Monkeyzoo is to enable these characters to move from this 2D image you see here to 3D image to avatars, and gaming or metaverse characters that you can use yourself. And with the technology that Cheer have given us, I think that's very much achievable. We're working with some great people in the community that can certainly make this happen. And also, we want to be a trusted brand. I think it's very important now that in Web3 certainly, and in NFT world, that there are trusted people and trusted brands, and we're doing everything ourselves to prove that we're genuine people. This is a genuine project. Nobody's promising that it's going to be perfect. Nobody's promising that we're going to turn all your NFTs into $1 million NFTs. That's not what we're about. But we are going to do our best to complete everything on our roadmap, and in our white paper, which again I think is very much achievable. So what is Monkeyzoo really about though? So behind the scenes then, we're creating real digital ownership of digital assets, okay, that and not necessarily even Monkeyzoo assets. All of these sort of type projects, gaming projects that are going to appear on Cheer, you will really own your digital assets. We're not talking about a link to a huge Ethereum contract of 10,000 NFTs. We're talking about individual NFTs with individual smart contracts, being really owned by with a coin in your wallet. So this is definitely something new, and definitely something that a lot of Web3 are sleeping on. What we're also doing then is creating a link from the Cheer ecosystem to gaming and metaverse developers, which we'll go into a little bit more on the next slide. We want to be thought leaders in this area, in Web3. We want to be pushing the boundaries. I already believe that we're steps ahead of what already is being created on Ethereum or Polygon type networks. I don't think they will be able to give people real digital ownership. I don't think they will really be able to protect people's assets with the security that Cheer offers. So I think coming up with new ideas and delivering on them is really important. So that's where we want to be with that. And again, we want to be a flagship for what can be done with NFT technology. Like I said, currently we are now working on the ability to upgrade and downgrade NFTs, which seems like it's been done before, but essentially what we're now doing is we're keeping that provenance. To upgrade an NFT before, let's say on Polygon or Ethereum, you would essentially burn an NFT and create a new one for your new upgraded NFT. What we're doing though is we're creating some clever cheer list puzzles that enable you to upgrade your character with a new attribute. Let's say this guy here now has a can of monster drink in his hand here. We would essentially be able to store this complete whole image inside your new image that will have the held monster can of energy drink. What this does is it keeps the provenance of this original NFT, and it gains provenance for the new NFT. But what it also enables us to be able to do is you're essentially storing this NFT within the NFT. So an NFT owns another NFT. We can then reverse that, and you can then release that can of monster drink to sell separately. So essentially you'd have a can of monster drink as a separate NFT. You'd combine the two to make a new NFT with a monkey with an energy drink, and inside that NFT you would have a separate NFT of a monster energy drink and this NFT here. So when you reversed that and you downgraded your NFT, you would then go back to your two NFTs, which would be this original NFT and your can of monster drink. Again, this hasn't been done before. This is something completely new that is that gives people that power to create gamification on Cheer. So I said we'd talk about some of this here. So around about a year ago, probably 9 months ago, I created this little graph, or this little flowchart that I'd thought about for how I thought Monkeyzoo would interact with the outside world. This has changed somewhat since this day, but I can go through it very quickly. So like I was talking about, a game here, essentially your gaming characters and the items that they hold, whether that's magical potions, swords, guns, etc., etc., can all interact within the game itself. What we want these games to do, different games, is to link into a data layer that essentially holds the data of what belongs in your wallet. Obviously we can wallet connect these type of interactions in, but what we want to do is to be able to essentially have this game being able to change things in this data instance, and this metaverse being able to change things essentially, and it all links up together, so that if the character comes from this game, logs out and then joins this metaverse knows what's happened in this game with this character. And essentially that was my idea. I'm not going to go into where we are with how this has changed as such, but essentially what you've got is this complete data of everything that's happening within your wallet that's been happening within this game. So the idea being is, if you was to buy a new item in this game, or you was to earn a new item in this game, the game would then tell the data that has happened, and it would then tell your wallet to mint that item into your wallet. So essentially, if you was to get a new gun in game or upgrade your gun, the game would tell the data would then tell your wallet, and it would create a new item in your wallet. Again, you could then come out of that game and go back into the metaverse, and then you will see the same thing. Your new items will be available for you, and again, other projects can take it on this. So from a design point of view, this was my rough first attempt at how I thought this would all work. And to be fair, it's not far off. So how's progress then with Monkeyzoo? Okay, so what we had then is, for the first year, 1 year, I had some goals that I wanted to do. I wanted to register us as a UK company, so we're a legit company. You know, we pay our taxes, we play the game, and we do everything correctly, which is what I've done. We wanted to protect our IP, so again, it's our IP has been protected. You know, the copyright and IP protection's all been put in place. In fact, it was already in place from around about 2010, I believe, when I first protected the IP. We wanted to build the website. Again, the website is constantly being updated, and so we built the website, and I think we've done a great job of explaining the Monkeyzoo project. We wanted to build the MZ gifting system, so we want people to be able to use the Monkeyzoo token going forwards in games and in metaverses, and to purchase other projects or other pieces of our project that we're releasing down the road. So again, we wanted a fair way to distribute this token, and I think the way that we've set up the gifting system that essentially allows people to just be gifted the token by owning our NFTs helps us do that. We want to build a social media presence and a community, which again is happening all the time. We love doing our spaces on a Sunday. That's a really enjoyable part of the week, and we get to speak to people and find out what's going on in the community. And again, it's about our presence, being in the community and being a trusted entity, which we'd like to think we are. We wanted to release our initial characters, so again that's ongoing. Now I'm recording this on the 3rd of May 2023, and we hope to have another 2, 3, maybe 4 characters come out over the next 2 or 3 months, before we release the Fusion Zoo, which is the upgrading and downgrading part of the Monkeyzoo project. We want to build a committed team. So currently we have 2 artists that work on the project. We have Gordon, our co-chimp, as he likes to be known as. He's amazing. He's got a good understanding of cheer lisp and programming, and we're very lucky to find him in the UK. I think these sort of people are few and far between, so he's been a great addition to the team, and he only lives around about an hour from me in the UK, so it's worked really well. And we also work very closely with the guys at NFTR, who are assisting us with building out the Fusion Zoo and helping us create the cheer lisp involved with the upgrading and downgrading of NFTs. And also the community themselves, Ace Vale from Mint Garden, and DNS from Dexy, and the guys at SpaceGAN. Everybody's been really helpful, so that's a great it's a great feeling to be able to know that you can reach out to somebody. Year 2 then, which we have just about to enter for Monkeyzoo. We wanted this smart contract creation, which is on task for around about the August time completion. So that's underway. The Fusion Zoo, like I say, the ability to fuse and defuse your characters, that's happening hopefully by the end of summer. So we're looking at probably October time, I would think, that will be ready in place. And again, the first iteration of that will be the ability to upgrade your characters or fuse your characters with different attributes, and then we'll take it back and look at the security side of things and slowly introduce the defusing part of that contract. We want to start the data layer interaction, and again this is utilizing the data layer to convey information about what's happening in your wallet to multiple entities outside. Start building a proof of concept game. This is happening now, and as of the day today, I can't say too much around that, but there's a proof of concept game that we're developing that's going to utilize some of the fusion side of Monkeyzoo, and it's going to start proving out some of the concepts we've discussed throughout this presentation. IRL products. Again, we've got a merch shop on Monkeyzoo. We want to streamline that down, and we want to start looking at ways that we can do this internally to keep the cost down for the consumers, for the buyers. And again, we want to utilize some of Cheer's technology, and certainly the peer-to-peer nature and the offer files, so that we can actually offer QR codes for sale in our store that may give you, specific additional attributes for characters. Maybe some rare ones. And then the last piece I've put on there is shh, and that's related to something that you will certainly hear in the next few days that I'm currently not allowed to talk about. Lastly then, this is how I finished off the presentation. The audience were given some pieces of merch, some stickers, some magnets, some plastic coins with some numbers on, and there was two 100 coins out there, and anybody who found those coins in their little giveaway pouches was won a cap. So that was our presentation for XCH London. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that it's given you a little bit of an insight into the Monkeyzoo project, and we look forward to many more of these presentations wherever we're asked to come. And thanks for listening today, and hopefully, like I say, you have more of an understanding of what we're creating and where we're heading. So thanks for listening.